Good day viewers, today we're gonna discuss about sub-base and base course preparation. So if we look in the figure, the sub-base and the subgrade is the underlying layers um, for your pavements like concrete and asphalt. So ano ba yung sub-base and subgrade? So for subgrade normally are natural ground graded and compacted on which the pavement is built. So yun namang subbase is a layer of material directly below the concrete pavement. So for a good pavement performance, the key is the uniformity of the subbase and the subgrade. So, to have a design for a uniform support, there are three major causes for non-uniform support. So, yung expansive soils, differential frost heave, and pumping, or the loss of support. So, let's discuss about the difference between pavement with subbase and those who doesn't have subbase. So, presence of fine-grained soil, presence of water, sufficient volume of trucks to cause soil pumping, and pavements on value greater than a 15% grade. So, sa table na to, makikita natin yung type ng subbase and subgrade. So, for fine-grained with high amounts of silt and clay, so yung amount of support na napoprovide niya is very low. Then for sand and gravel with moderate silt or clay, meron tong medium support, and makikita natin yung highest amount of support ay nanggagaling dun sa sand and sand gravel with little clay. So, if we're gonna have a performance summary of subgrade and subbases, so proper design and construction are absolutely necessary if the pavement is to perform. Must be uniform throughout the pavement's life, and poor subgrade subbase preparation cannot overcome with thickness. Any concrete pavement built of any thickness will have problems on a poorly designed and constructed subgrade or subbase. So, dito makikita natin yung pictures for construction activities associated sa quality control for subbase and base course. So, makita natin yung first one is yung pagle-level ng granular materials. Tapos, sa pangalawa, makikita natin yung compact roller. Then, may laser-guided grade control at saka yung aluminum foil for GPR signals. Next, makikita natin dito yung level ng subbase. Dito naman makikita natin yung lightweight deflectometer, nuclear gauge density at saka geogauge. Dito sa nuclear gauge density, minimeasure lang nito yung density ng subgrade after compaction. Next is the innovation on subbase and base course preparation. So based on the study made by Hassan Kazmi and Errol Tutumluer of the University of Illinois, where after the evaluation and analysis of data, um, these are the following conclusions. So, penetration of large rocks into very soft subgrade was demonstrated to be effective in improving the weak subgrade and preparing a fairly stable working platform layer in pavement construction. And because RAP or recycled asphalt pavement cap section accumulated higher permanent deformation, use of recycled asphalt pavement materials as capping materials should be further evaluated and likely minimized. So, uniformly graded materials may exhibit wider variation in rotting performance because of the presence of inherent voids. Without the presence of smaller sized particles, aggregate interlock is minimal at the interface of aggregate-subgrade, which eventually affects the subgrade strength as well. Human error in the use of grade control led to large variation in HMA thickness in this study. Towards the end, a more advanced methodology such as string lining or use of paver screed beam during HMA placement and compaction should be considered to ensure a smooth HMA. So, yung next study naman na ipipresent ko is a feasibility study of reclaimed asphalt pavement as a road-based and sub-based material. This study was made by Hope E.J. et al. In the Virginia Center for Transportation Innovation and Research. Dito sa study na to, inassess nila yung viability of using recycled asphalt pavement as an alternative material for aggregate materials for sub-base and base course. After the study, they have made the following conclusions. So, the use of RAP in road-based and sub-based layers is technically viable. Numerous transportation agencies have been recycling RAP in the unbound base and sub-base layers for many years. However, there is a lack of literature on actual field performance. Because of concerns related to lower shear strength and excessive permanent deformation resulting from large strains as RAP content increases, there's a general trend of using up to 50% RAP content by weight in virgin aggregate base and sub-base layer. Also, there is a general lack of uniformity among the RAP use specification adopted by various transportation agencies. And another conclusions they have made is RAP for use in base and sub-base layers can be characterized by performance-related parameters and properties including those needed for pavement design such as grading, resilient modulus, shear strength under static triaxial loading, and permanent deformation under repeated triaxial loading, and those identifying material durability such as frost susceptibility and abrasion resistance as measured by the microdeval test. When the nuclear density gauge is used for wet or dry density measurements, the compaction acceptance criteria need to be modified to account the RAP content. Current pavement design procedures do not account for RAP material properties. So for other conclusions, there do not appear to be substantive leaching concerns related to unstabilized RAP use as base or sub-base material. Use of chemical stabilization agents may require environmental assessment on a case-by-case basis. And lastly, there is a reportedly at least 5 million tons of RAP available at various asphalt plants in Virginia, although nearly one half of this tonnage is located in the northern Virginia, where there are adequate stockpiles of RAP to supply most part of the state. So, yung last na ipe-present is another feasibility study on cement-treated base and sub-base layers of service road. This is a case study on KED-CINAR NH50 project in Maharashtra, India, made by Saket Prasad. This study aims to assess the viability of using cement-treated aggregates as a material for sub-base and base cores. So after the study has been made, they have drawn the following conclusions. So, longer life of pavements, speed of the project completion is accelerated, reduced use of aggregates, less local construction traffic due to fast construction, transportation haulage is reduced project cost, reduced thickness of pavement, reduction of bitumen consumption due to strong sub-base. Aggregate consumption is less for case of stabilized base compared to that of conventional method. Uniform distribution of load in cement-treated service road as compared to conventional road. Resistance against cracking and fatigue cracking. Best option in low-lying water-clogged area. So that is the end of our discussion, and